Yeah, so started thinking about a project I built out of this book, Electronic Projects for Musicians. A couple decades. I had to be still in my 20s probably when I built this. This was probably in the 80s. I think that's when this book was last. This particular copy of the book was made in 80 or 81, something like that. I think it cost $14.95 back in those days. It's about 32 something now, I think. They still sell it, but some of the projects are no longer available due to parts not being available. But yeah, this even came with the old school vinyl record, so you could hear what all the effects sounded like. Had some pretty neat effects in it, and I bought stuff from. I bought it from this Paella company. I think they're out of Hawaii, and I bought there's an envelope follower. That one never worked real good. The one that I built out of this book worked better. And there was a Hot Lick sustain. I used that for years. I still have that around here somewhere. I used it for a long time when I was playing cheap guitars and cheap amps. It just gave me some extra overdrive and let you hold notes real long because it increased the gain, you know, as you held the note. But what I built was this phase shifter. It didn't look like this because I didn't have that particular enclosure. I had to make my own enclosure. All you got with the kit was basically a circuit board and some parts. I think you could buy other stuff, you know, from them, but I bought just a circuit board and components. And I'm not sure, I may have made some substitutions, or maybe they made the substitutions, but I noticed in the parts list I had some stuff marked out and changed in values. But, I'm always modifying stuff anyway, and that was a schematic for it. I think it's these optocouplers you can't get anymore, these Clarex optocouplers. That's probably, I think they were getting hard to find when I built the thing. So the phase shifter, you've probably heard them before. The phase shifters and flangers are constantly getting confused, but I think this one is a true phase shifter. And this had the option to be controlled by an envelope follower, which is what they use for like the auto wah. And so, and basically it winds up sounding more or less like an auto wah, even when it's doing the phase shifter. But I thought I would put them both in one enclosure, so that's what I did. So I'm going to hook it up to, well, I dusted it out the other day, put a couple 9 volts because it's got a split power supply, plus and minus 9 volts. So I put a couple of Duracells in it, and it worked. I had a broken switch. It's real gritty sounding pots and stuff because it's been around forever. But I dusted the sucker off and it worked. So I was playing around with it with the Strat on my amp, and it sounded so-so. The envelope follower didn't work real good with those single coils. They don't have enough output. Then I put it on my Rickenbacker bass, and it sounds great. So I'm going to do a demo with that, just showing you some of the sounds you can get out of it. Okay, I have the phase shifter hooked up to the Rickenbacker, or vice versa. Got kind of a fast sweep right now for the low frequency oscillator. You can change resonance, offset. That's the right key or anything. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, now I want to show you the envelope follower. Flip that on. It sounds a little bit like an auto wah. Adjusting the intensity. Treble pickup. And you can adjust the volume. I've got a volume pedal on here. Sorry, I bumped that camera there. Volume pedal. It helps you adjust the threshold by just subtle changes in volume. It make a big difference when I show you the Rico sound when it's in stereo and I have the neck pickup going in straight. It's very interesting doing that. So let's try that next. Okay, I've got the stereo output connected on the Rickenbacker. It's kind of a kludge because I don't have really the right cables for doing that. But I've got it in the neck pickup here, and it's going straight into the input 1 on my Rumble amp. And I have the modulated output going into input 2. Adjust the output down a little. Okay, this is both pickups on at once. So the neck is always going to be unmodulated, and the bridge pickup is always going to be modulated through the phase shifter. Let's go back to the low frequency oscillator. As I adjust the volume pedal, I can add just a little or a whole lot of the modulated signal. And when you go back to the envelope follower, it's a lot of versatility out of that. So it's a shame you can't get that phase shifter anymore. But you can do this with similar modern effects these days, especially if you got the Rickenbacker with the stereo output. You can always wire your bass for stereo. It's not really necessary, but it's kind of neat to blend them. I mean, if it's good enough for Chris Squire. So that's how it works.